Welcome to the Turn Zero Store Prime Championships. This is the semifinals. This time on the left we have Matney, Mr. Matney, piloting Voxotwitch, the Soldier Specialist. It's a cool name. Coder deck versus Andrew, Aviator, who is going to be piloting. Why does that look so janky? What is that? Has that just been there the whole time? Yeah, it's just been there the whole time. Cool. Anyways, this is Andrew on the right, who's Aviator, who is piloting HA Razorhand of the Speedy Mountain. Did a great job of dispatching of Devin's terrifying deck that's been ravaging our local community. Thankfully, someone could put an end to it. Anyways, here we go. Let's take a look at these decks. What can they do? What can we expect? Both decks are playing Control the Weeks. Andrew, so we looked at Andrew's deck earlier. I'm going to try my best to focus on Mr. Matney's deck. Control the Weak, Gateway, Gongoozle, Guilty Hearts. Basically, all three of those are really good against wards and Worlds Collide kind of stuff. So I'm not surprised to see it here in this deck. A lot of people opted to, like I said before, a lot of people opted to play coder decks, fast coder decks that were positioned well against board-focused Worlds Collide decks, right? Because most people are scared of wards and the Saurians. But that's kind of like the kind of stuff that we're not used to trying to deal with. It's just more board-centric stuff. Anyways, other important things: Double Ember Imp and Toxin. Double Ember Imps are probably really good against the kind of stuff that Devin was trying to play in the last round. Also, the much more efficient or card advantage focused Logos and Star Alliance of Worlds Collide. So those are good against that stuff. And Toxin will also help try and rip apart those combos that you're trying to set up. All right. We've got a pretty, not necessarily steel focused. It doesn't look very steel focused in the Shadows lineup. Ghostly Hand sometimes steel whispers. Carlo Phantom with 5 artifacts sounds pretty strong. Naughty and Archon are really it. That's it. So it's like maybe you can steal 4 out of this deck. So it's really relying on the Shrets to like hold the Shrets, Old Bruno, and that's about it. Shrets and Old Bruno are basically your bet. So you just need to go fast with 25 expected amber and just like stall them on their keys whenever you can. Shouldn't be too hard to go fast with the Double Dust Pixie Nature Call. Also, Nature's Call and Lost in the Woods, super strong against Saurians. Not so good against the Space People, Star Alliance, but what are you gonna do? Can't have answers to everything. I guess I'm not sure if you consider Lost in the Woods a good answer, but Cooperative Hunting is pretty strong. I'm not sure how strong it is in a 15 creature deck. A little low to get like the big numbers that you need, but I guess that's good enough to deal 3 points of damage to a Star Alliance creature. Big Twig is pretty good. You want to stun all those creatures, don't let them get uses. You could do some cool Double Vigor with, I don't know. There's not a lot of big creatures. There's only the big Twig there for the Vigors to heal and get a lot of value. So maybe he's hoping his opponents has bigger creatures. Could even Cooperative Hunting his big Twig to get the Vigor value. Murmuk is an interesting amber control option, and Way of the Bear is mostly a point of amber. So against Andrew's deck that we saw, this looks like a pretty standard matchup that we've seen a lot. Andrew did manage to set up a nice sized board against Devin. It's probably not likely going to happen this time because of Mr. Matney's stronger board control options with Gateway and his own pawn sacrifice. Devin's deck seemed to lack a little bit of like the bigger creature removal, or like it was heavily relying on the like Festering Touch and Zap to kind of work out stuff like that. So this time around, that Gateway is probably going to be super important in Nature's Call, and the Lost in the Woods just don't care about how big your creatures are, or even how many creatures you have. So Andrew's going to have a lot harder time setting that up. To get that going, hopefully the library access will do a lot of good work for him. The Too Much Protect is going to be really big in this matchup, considering how the Double Dust Pixie Nature's Call play that could happen. Guilty Hearts can hit the Charette, and that's about it. I'm not sure what else. Ember Imps are going to be sad against the Poison Wave, but whatever. Yeah, so let's just see how this goes. I'm excited. And good luck to both our contestants. I gotta take the deck list down, and I wasn't as on top of when it starts, but here we go. And they're shuffling, and they're shuffling. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. All right. Mr. Matney starts off with a Secret Needle. -1 of the artifacts for Carlo to steal from. But Andrew didn't have any Amber still to begin with. All right. Plays Controlled Weak, I'm going to guess. I don't remember too many actions that have 1 Amber Pip. Puts Matney back into Shadows, maybe? Ghostly Hands, steals 1. You had it. Gains 3 Amber, essentially. I'm not sure if that was an attempt to control the weak in the Shadows. I could see that as an argument because he's out. You want to get the steal out of the way as quickly as you can, but there's not like a too much to protect or something. The steal 1 is still going to steal 1. And like we said, Matney doesn't have a lot of steal effects. Just like 4 of them, basically. Pawn sack for value. I guess it's getting that out of the way is pretty good for Andrew. Plus Archon. Secret Needle the Archon. Okay, cool. Goes up to 5. Just gonna rush. puts the Amber on the Secret Needle for a second. All right, he's determined. He's got to be the beatdown. He's got to rush against Andrew's deck. Andrew's deck also, yeah, everyone's pretty. There's no like steal. There's not big steal, as much stealing in these decks because everyone's expecting slower games. So getting this first key shouldn't be too hard for Mr. Matney. Andrew needs to basically just race and catch up here. Plays Dis. Reaps with the Ember Imp. Plays a couple actions. I don't know what they were. Goes up to 3. All right. Apparently he went back into Shadows. Probably another control week to put Mr. Matney into Shadows. Plays Carlo Phantom. Secret Needles to deal 1 point of damage to the Ember Imp, or sorry, the Dust Imp. And that looks like that's it. Draws 1 card. Not a bad turn. It kept Mr. Matney off from a key. Now, Andrew definitely has a good lights out here. Putting the Carlo Phantom back in Andrew's hands will keep it stranded there for a couple turns until he can build up a couple more Shadows cards. He does have... Is that a pair of lights out? I see the Positron Bolt, which could be okay. Phase Shift Positron Bolt. I'm not sure what you want to phase shift here. You definitely don't want to phase shift the lights out. You're going to hold that so you can get some extra value out of it. If Positron Bolt's going to kill things. Looks like a too much to protect. Man, Andrew's not having any luck with those too much to protects, drawing them way too early. Although I guess he did find it just in time at the end of the last round. All right, Positron goes into Logos. Positron Bolt Scrambler Storm. Okay. I guess Matney had the 15 creature deck? Or was that Andrew? Plays Phase Shift to... Oh, it does play the lights out. Interesting. I guess that does put him up at 6. I don't think he had an extra Amber Pip in his hand from another house, so I can see it sounds reasonable. Matney is probably gonna play a Charette here, would be my guess. I'm not sure if he has one, but if I was Andrew, I'd be worried about Charette and Old Bruno. Probably not Old Bruno. He might just be pretty safe with the key here. I see the control the weak. It's a big disc turn coming up, so he's gonna play his own disc turn here, and use the... Oh, he opts not to use the control the weak. Interesting. Okay. That is a control the weak. Huh. He could have definitely forced through a key there. Maybe he's trying to hold it for the end of the game. For like the last key. Alright, trades Dust Imp for Ember Imp. Maybe he felt the Ember Imp was enough of a control the weak. Unfortunately, Andrew's hand was stacked full of discards, and he was perfectly happy to go into this. Alright, what do you got for us, Matney? I see 2 Dust Imps plus a Lost in the Woods is my guess, and that sounds nice. A good way to get rid of the Succubus, get rid of the Ember Imp. Play both your Dust Imps, or sorry, Dust Pixies, and shuffle them back in your deck so you get them again. Sounds great. I mean, he doesn't get to play the Control the weak. Oh, I guess he might be worried about if he's yeah, I guess he's on to Andrew's too much to protect. Trades Toxins, okay. Controls the weak. Or he plays Control the weak. He checks out Andrew's discard pile to try and figure out what house is the best. I mean, the easiest thing to pick is the house that your opponent just picked because they likely don't have cards in it. But the Succubus and Dust Imp are nothing to laugh at. That's at least 2 Amber, if nothing else. We've also forced through the key at 6 Amber, or at 7 Amber. Definitely didn't let him play Shadows. Alright, it looks like he did force him into Dis. Gains 2 Ambers, plays a Soul Snatcher here. Okay. Makes those Dust Imps worth a little bit more, the Succubus a little bit better. Alright, Matney forges. Alright. So, big bursty time. Dew Fairy. Goes on the first. Dust Imp. Or sorry, Dust Pixie, Dust Pixie. So it's 5 plus Lost in the Woods. Alright, cool. That's a great. Lost in the Woods and Nature Call are going to be great against the Soul Snatcher. Unfortunately, Andrew's already lost one of his Lights Out, which is also a really good way to remove creatures when you don't actually want to kill them. So Matney is now sitting at another 6 Amber right now after he just forged his previous key. And he's still... It's been a pretty good turn navigating, being careful, playing around the too much to protect. So Andrew is now trying to figure out how do I get this basically dead too much to protect out of my hand. Unless he's basically going to have to save it for key 3 at this point. We haven't seen any logos from Andrew, so maybe he just... Wait, he did phase shift a turn to play the Lights Out. So what is he going to do here? So a big Shadow's turn. Doesn't steal anything off the too much to protect. He probably might have... I don't know if he holds on to it here. I guess the Dust Pixies are back in the deck. I'd be tempted to hold on to it, but man, Andrew is so far away from catching up. He can't... I'm not sure if he can afford to hold on to an extra card in his hand. Alright. Secret Needle comes out. Shadow Self. Naughty. Plays 3 cards. Okay, he chooses to hold on to it. He's got to try and bait Matney into playing bursting too high again with his Dust Pixies and Nature's Call. And then having a steal one on top of that. Wow. What a lucky draw. Here they are again. Reap for 2. Goes up to exactly 6. Well, at least Naughty's on the field. Plus Whispers. Okay. It's a good start. Whispers one of the Pixies. Matney doesn't have regrowths or Witch of the Eye, so once the Dust Pixies are gone, they're gone. Although... Oh yeah, Secret Needle. Plus too much to protect. No. I don't know. Whispers here kills another thing. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then too much to protect steals 2. And Naughty puts him under 5. And Shadow Self reaps. Yeah, Matney doesn't have a way to punish this, minus like, the capture threes. So Andrew's in a good position here to get back into this game. So yeah, that Soul Snatcher is doing a lot of work here. It's tough. Andrew doesn't have too many options after this, I think, is the unfortunate thing. He's going to be pretty much stuck in shadows. He has, 11 amber, so he has almost enough amber here to forge both the keys he needs, but not through that lash. If Mr. Matney can just kind of gain 1 or 2 amber a turn and just keep lashing, that's pretty much all he needs to do here. Domineer, Bobble, Toxin, perfect. That's great. Andrew can't let those creatures live, but he also can't give Matney the amber off the Soul Snatcher. What's he thinking about playing here? He's playing another creature, holding it back. Sonic Control the weak. Could be a gateway. Charette, capture 3. Okay, perfect. Doesn't even make it onto the Charette. I guess Andrew could go into this and Bobble. He needs to keep chipping away at the amber by stealing one whenever he can. And he also needs to get rid of the Ember Imp. If he could get rid of the Ember Imp and Naughty on the same turn just to keep Matney under 6. Andrew does have a lash of his own if he could find, which would be great. But he needs it this turn because Matney can reap for 3. Plus Domineer Roll, he can reap for 4 and just go outside of the range of lash actually. So it's not enough. Alright, Nerve Blast. Steal 1, deal 2 damage to the Ember Imp, but then he gains it back. So it's basically gain 1 Amber, get rid of the Ember Imp. Which opens up Andrew to do some more stuff. Steal 1. There you go. Shadow Self reaps. Okay. Wait, did Andrew get... Is that a bigger chip on the charrette? Or are they stacked in it? They're just like stacked 3 tall. They're probably stacked 3 tall. I might have missed that. Okay. Yep. Lash. Toxin. Remove a card. So basically Andrew loses a card, loses 3 amber, and Matney goes up to 7, which is outside the range of the Naughty. Andrew needs more shadows at this point, or his own capture 3. Like I forget if he has a shred of his own. Might do a good. Might do. I think he does. I'm pretty sure he does. He does have a shred of his own. That can get him out of this. He didn't find it. And that looks like the game, based on Andrew's hand. I could be wrong. It looks like all Logos cards. He already played his phase shift. You need it looks like you need like library access at this point to just draw into an answer, but I don't see it in his hand. He's trying to figure it out. Does he have a solution? Yeah, Matney's deck is just super quick and has just the right tempo. Gain 2, goes up to 4 for his second key. Titan Mechanic reduces key cost by 1, covers it up with probably Quixo, and Bat Drone comes out, and good game. Well, congratulations, Mr. Matney, on becoming the making it to the finals at the Turn 0 Prime Championships. It was very exciting. I'm glad you can continue defeating people after me. Sorry about your loss, Andrew. You traveled far, you came hard, you came down, you fought hard. It was great to have you down here. I had a great time. Hope to see you again. Hope to see you, Mr. Matney, at a future event. Everyone that's watching, thank you for watching on Twitch. And also thank you everyone for watching on YouTube. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and all that jazz. I really appreciate it. It does mean a lot. And I'll have a good night. Oh.